Mother's Day has just been celebrated here in Australia, and it got me thinking about what I have learnt in my role as a mum that helps me to be a better leader. So today I want to share with you my 3 top lessons from motherhood. So lesson number 1 is to value differences. And when I'm sitting at the dinner table with my 3 kids, Tom, Sophie and Jack, boy, oh boy, they are all so different. They see the world differently. They have different perspectives and they make different choices to the ones that I would make. But as a mum, it is about valuing those differences and being able to understand and listen to them in order to influence. And it's exactly the same in your leadership role. Every single team member is so different. They come with different points of view. They're going to do the work differently than how you would do it. And it is about valuing those differences, the diversity, embracing that in order to get the very best results. The second lesson is to embrace the uncertainty. Now, before I had my eldest son, Tom, I read every parenting book from front to back, everything I could get my hands on. But of course, nothing prepares you for when they hand that baby over to you and send you home and say, good luck. And look, it's the same in leadership. You are being promoted into a new role. It is super exciting. This new role is like your baby. You are looking forward to it, anticipating it. But then when you step into the role, you're like, oh my goodness, there's a lot here that I don't know. Even if you've read the books and listened to the podcasts and done all that preparation, there is still that self-doubt, maybe that imposter syndrome that comes up. And that is absolutely okay because it means that you care. It means that you want to do a great job. So embracing the uncertainty and knowing that you are always going to be learning in your leadership role. And lesson number 3 is that the goal is the same. Whether you're parenting or leading, what you're wanting to do is to take your team members or your children from being dependent to being interdependent. So let's look at this journey. So step number 1 is, of course, that dependency. When they are dependent on you for everything. And that can feel like a lot of weight on your shoulders. It can feel like hard work when you have to tell people what to do and how to do it, heavily supervise and be very directive with your people. But then they will step up into the stage of independence. And that's when they gain more confidence, they're stepping up into their role, and then they're going to do things that maybe they don't tell you about. Maybe they're doing things in very different ways, maybe making mistakes. And this can be the hard space of both parenting and also leadership because you have to extend trust to them, but also know that they're going to make mistakes. They're going to stuff up. But absolutely, you are doing a great job if they are making decisions and creating more accountability and gaining more responsibility for themselves. And finally, we get to that beautiful stage of interdependence when it kind of comes full circle and the relationship is so different. There's now mutual respect and mutual benefit. And I don't know if you've experienced this in the workplace, but it's when your boss doesn't really feel like a boss anymore. They feel like an equal, that your colleagues learning from each other, you're mentoring each other, your ideas and their ideas coming together to create something really cool. So the 3 lessons from being a mum that also applies to leadership. The first one, valuing differences in those around you. The second is to embrace the uncertainty to keep learning. And lesson number 3 is to know the goal of leadership. Taking your people from being dependent to independent to interdependence. Happy Mother's Day, and I will see you next week. Bye.